All right, welcome here to postseason play. We're down in Jasper. A little bit of a delay as they had a playoff game in front of us. Timpson able to beat Hemphill 12-4 in front of us. But ready for action is Maya Turney going to lead it off for the Lady Dogs. I am Brent Lee, joined here with Coach Curtis Acosta on the call.
Ready to get this one going here, Bran, as the Lady Dogs, the visiting team here tonight.
And just like that, a called strike.
You can see there our lineup there for these Lady Dogs. Maya Turney leading the way all season long from that shortstop position. Brooke Key then followed by the R&R twins, Ryan and Riley Brooks.
0-1 bunted. Going to be a tough play. And an infield single to get it started for Maya Turney. Put it kind of in no man's land. And a great way to start.
And now at the bat for your Lady Dogs, number 1, Brooke Key.
That's Maya just doing what Maya does in that leadoff position, Brent. Laying one down, being a base runner, on base percentage close to 600 so far this season.
And right now in the circle, Orangefield got a freshman, Kiel Thibodeau. As Brooke Key at the plate now. But Orangefield coming in 30 wins on the season, ranked number 9 in the state. So a tough task for the Lady Dogs. And Key waves up. That one comes up empty.
What a cool story there, Brant. This season, Brooke Key always has hit from the right side, and then had some struggles the early part of the season. Talked to Coach Treacle on what can I do, and was open to the idea of switching over to the left side.
And Turney with a steal. And now she's in scoring position.
So Brooke Key switches over to the left side. You know how in years past the Lady Dogs have been at their best when they've got two lefties at the start of their batting order, a la Jaron Sprinkle, Shelby East, Jaron Sprinkle, Janae Robinson, and so on. So Lady Dogs able to incorporate that with the help of Brooke Key switching over to that left side this year.
And that pitch off the plate, well, you're no stranger to that lineup. Has had a lot of good years coaching this Lady Dog program where, like you said, it gives you a lot of options when those two, when they set the table and they get on board, and it just makes things easier as a coach over there.
Yeah, I tell you what, Brian, it's something else for those 3, 4, 5 power hitters when you've got pretty much a guaranteed at least one of the two is going to get on, and in most opportunities, both get on.
As Turney going to advance 60 feet on the pass ball, so now Brooke Key from 0-2 to 3-2 battling here. Good AB. And a walk. Going to put runners at the corners.
Coach Treacle, they're clapping there for Brooke Key. Just a great at-bat. Working the count. Most importantly, working Thibodeau to get some pitches there.
Riley Brooks.
And that's going to bring up Riley Brooks. And could see the Lady Dogs get in action here on the base pass. A lot of speed on the bases here for the Lady Dogs. And Key going to take second base now on the ball. Going to be base hit, could possibly score 2. And Coach, talking pregame, like I said, Orangefield coming in 30 wins on the resume, ranked in the top 10 at number 9. The momentum is key. If you can jump out early, kind of shift that pressure to the other side of the dugout, and then late in the game, if you can find yourself within striking distance around the 5th or 6th,
yeah, we saw
have
that
a chance to steal one.
A couple of years ago, Brent, you and I were here, and we saw that exactly happen here in this third round versus Orangefield. Lady Dogs jumped out quickly, had some momentum. Orangefield fought back and got that win in game 1, but I think it's key for somebody in this position to throw that first punch and connect.
And there's a called strike, make the count 2-1. And there's a foul ball, going to make the count 2-2. The front half of this lineup is key, Coach. They've not only got to produce, but they got to produce at a high level.
Yeah, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's been the scoring for Coach Kayla Treacle's squad this season.
And Brooks comes up empty there. That'll bring up sister Ryan Brooks.
And now the bat for your Lady Dogs. Number 12, Ryan Brooks.
So Ryan and Riley holding down those corner positions for the Lady Dogs as they have all season.
And Brooks swings through, comes up empty.
Prime opportunity here for the Lady Dogs. Second and third, 2 runners in scoring position, and 3 opportunities to get a run in somehow.
And now down in the count 0-2, and Thibodeau trying to get back-to-back punch-outs. Right now Brooks just needs to get it in play. And a bunt attempt comes up empty. And now Orangefield looking to get out of serious traffic. That'll bring out the pitcher, Ava Beatty.
Now for your Lady Dogs. Number 9, Ava Beatty.
So Beatty trying to help herself out in the box here. Tonight's pitcher for the Lady Dogs. And swung on and missed. Ava, just a freshman here on the Lady Dog squad, has shouldered most of the innings here this year for the Lady Dogs.
Ava Beatty, wise beyond her years. She just has this locked-in veteran presence about her, Brant, that, you know, it's been something special to see in this season as she's been called on to take the brunt of the pitching chores for the Lady Dogs, and she's really stepped up this whole year.
And a pass ball going to be a tough play, and Turney able to sneak the hand across. And the Lady Dogs grab the lead.
Great jump there from Maya Turney as she was able to recognize that ball. Just got in. I don't even think that ball made it all the way to the backstop, Brand. That was a close play there.
So Lady Dogs at least scratch one across. Want to do more damage here. 2-1 count to Beatty. Brooke Key down there at third. And that pitch swung on a miss, even as the count at 2 apiece. Two-two delivery from Thibodeau, and gets her swinging. So Thibodeau strikes out the side, but the Lady Dogs strike for 1 in the first. We're going to head to the bottom of the first with the Lady Dogs leading 1-0. Next door to the speaker.
If you didn't know, you know now.
So right. Back to action here. Bottom of the first, Lady Dogs lead 1-0. Leading it off going to be center fielder Haley Becker. We'll get you the Lady Dog defense here shortly. And a bunt attempt going to get foul. And that pitch off the plate, 1-1 out in left field, going to be Lily Smith. Center fielder Brooke Key. Right field, I believe, is Braylee Lowry. We'll get you the infield after this pitch. Ground ball to short, Turney, going to be a tough play. And not in time, close play. But Becker going to get an infield single. That'll bring up the pitcher, Till Kibido.
Yeah, that one there got a little deep there at shortstop. A nice effort there from Maya trying to make that play over there. But speed at the top of the order causing issues, and that's just what a good leadoff's supposed to do right there, Brant.
Well, and this is a rematch from 2 years ago in the third round, and a couple names still on this roster. Becker, Sanchez, near the top of this, so there'll be a couple familiar names that you'll see throughout.
Yeah, what a series that was. That game one, tight all the way through. Orangefield able to come back and grab that win there in game one.
That pitch swung on and missed. So 0-2 count now to Kibido. And swung on and missed. Snap through not in time, but the first punch out there for Ava Beatty. That'll bring up Charlie Sanchez. She's one of those familiar names from that series 2 years ago. The shortstop here tonight for Orangefield. Sanchez was just a freshman when these teams met 2 years ago.
And even then was a tough out as a freshman.
And a delay steal. And the ball thrown right at the second baseman, but Becker in there at second now in scoring position.
I think Beathard tried her best to hang on to that one. As you mentioned, Brent, that delayed steal just had her going to first, and then noticed the Orangefield Lady Bobcat making her way to second, but Cami Chandler doing a good job of backing up that throw.
That pitch off the plate. As on the infield, Ron Brooks at third, Maya Turney at short, Cami Chandler at second, Riley Brooks at first, Skylar Beathard behind the plate, and Ava Beatty, the freshman, in the circle. And that pitch just misses, 2-1. On deck, Allison Vincent. Two-one comes up empty now, 2-2 count. Got the NFL draft about to start in 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, it's a big night here in sports. We got softball playoffs and the NFL draft.
Be a fun night.
Than this. 3 games here at Jasper High School, 4, 6, and 8.
And a punch out for Beatty, 2 in a row. That'll bring up second baseman Allison Vincent. Beatty trying to avoid traffic. Leadoff single by Becker. Stolen base got her to second.
Of the backfield, Lady Bobcats, number 3, Allison Vincent.
Orangefield Lady Bobcats are coached by Rebecca Ragsdale. And that pitch downstairs is assisted by Sarah Nash and Tiffany McFather. And Sarah Nash and Rebecca are sisters,
know
right?
Each other a little bit. And their dad, they came from a legendary coaching tree. Their dad, a big-time coach in the Southeast Texas area for years and years.
So it sounds like they didn't have a choice, is what it sounds like. But I think they got love for the game. So
absolutely, both of them are college softball players, and they have built quite the program together at Orangefield.
And that 3-0 gets in there for a called strike, 3-1.
And this has been the area that Ava, as a freshman, has really worked hard on, is getting this third out, not allowing anyone to keep a rally going. So right here, 3-1, 2 outs.
And that right there, foul back, so 3-2.
It's a good challenge pitch right there. talking to Coach Treacle before this game, she feels like if they can score a few runs, that top of the order that we talked about, play good defense, and Ava has a good night, they feel like they've got a chance here in this one.
And there's a walk that'll put runners at first and second. That'll bring up the catcher, Jacelyn Dowdy.
And now the bat for Lady
Jacelyn
Dogs,
Girardi,
number 12,
excuse me. Jocelyn Girardi, freshman. So they're littered with some freshmen throughout the lineup. Which that's the crazy thing to me, covering softball all these years, and you've been around the game. It's so different than baseball or basketball. If a kid can play as a freshman on the softball diamond, they get their opportunity. I mean, you put out the best 9, they get the experience on the fly.
On the fly, for sure. And a big part of that is just the travel ball, the select ball. These girls play a lot, and they have the experience in some big-time situations. When they come in as freshmen, a lot of times they're ready to go for big-time ball.
And that pitch swung on a miss, delay steal over to third, and Becker is there safely. So twice has Haley Becker used that, but 0-2 count here on Girardi. Here from Beatty. Looking in there to Coach Treacle, flashing the signs. Are going to step off here, regroup. Coach Treacle assisted by Sarah Mays. Coach Chandler. And a swung on strikeout.
Big one right there, Brant, to retire the side. Huge.
Leaves 2 stranded. Beatty strikes out the side. We're going to head to the second. Lady Dogs lead 1-0. All right, welcome back here. Top of the second, 1-0 lead, Lady Dogs. Skylar Bethard, Lady Dog catcher, going to get it started. And Thibodeau allowed the 1 run in the first. Infield single by Turney, walk to Key. Turney scored on a pass ball, but both pitchers, even though they had traffic, struck out the side. As Bethard fouls it away down in the count 0-2. So we get to watch Timpson and Hemphill in front of us. Timpson victorious. And then the late night was supposed to be 8 o'clock. And Hudson fans, it may be a little later here tonight.
I couldn't imagine it starting at 8 o'clock, Brent. It's an hour-ish away here, and we're just now dropping into the second inning. So, yeah, 2A ball, 3A ball, and then 4A playoff ball to end the night here in Jasper.
And Beathard comes up empty. That'll be one down. That'll bring up the DP, Bailey LaBelle.
And now at the bat for your Lady Dogs, number 13.
And Lily
Bailey
Smith on deck.
LaBelle.
And that pitch upstairs off the plate. Bulldog baseball in action tomorrow in Diboll as they are technically tied with Woodville, but hold the tiebreaker. So with one game to go in 21-3A, they're hoping to get in postseason.
The Bulldogs are turned into Huntington Red Devil fans.
Yeah. They're going to be cheering on Sean Mixon and his crew for sure. As a win by Huntington at Woodville would clinch it no matter the outcome of the Bulldog game at Diboll. And that pitch swung and a miss down in the count 1-2. And another punch out, make it 5 in a row, Coach, as Thibodeau, the freshman, settling in.
Dealing, that's exactly right, Brant. She's been settling in here at the end of that first inning. Slight bump to start the game. But 5 strikeouts in a row now.
Number 6, Lily
That'll bring up left fielder Lily Smith, a freshman. Lily has bounced around a little bit defensively, kind of found her home out in left field, but has been a valuable pitcher in relief for Ava Beatty this year. So 2 freshmen in the circle.
And the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, as big sister Kendall was always called upon to play here, play there. You know, I know it got to a point where Kendall, any given night, didn't know where she was going to be because she was such a great utility player, played some outfield, played some second, caught. And so Lily has really stepped in this year for Coach Kayla Treacle to play basically anywhere she needs her.
And that pitch swung on a miss down to the count 1-2. And there's a punch out. Gives Thibodeau 6 in a row. As the Lady Dogs, though, lead 1-0. We'll head to the bottom of the second here with Lady Dogs softball. All right, welcome back. Paisley Reeves going to lead it off here. Third baseman for the Bobcats. And off the plate, 2-0 now to Reeves. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 in the order here for the Bobcats in the second. And that pitch off the plate now, 3-0. And there's a strike, going to make it 3-1. Beatty here, coach, just got a challenger. Puts it in play, so be it.
Yeah, find a pitch that's working there. No sense in trying to mix up pitches if one's not working. Stick with what you got right here.
And just off the plate. I believe I got 4. But no, okay, 3-2.
Okay. That was 2-2.
We'll
must have
take
missed
that.
one.
So 3-2 count here to Reeves. Beatty looking in. She delivers. Just off the plate and a leadoff walk. That'll bring up Kinley Vasek, or Basic. We'll find out here shortly.
Yeah. Let's go Basic.
Okay. You know what's crazy is down in that area, the one that we got for sure is Kibido. You know, that's familiar in that neck of the woods.
That Ibido for sure.
Bunt attempt comes up empty. Runner gonna advance. So regardless, able to move her over. Could see it again here, Coach.
Yeah, why not here, especially with runner at second. Put something on, not exactly sure.
7 in the order.
Yeah, 7 in the order, so generally speaking, the 7 spot is a sacrifice position, especially with a runner on in front of you.
And bunt attempt comes up empty. Lady Dog defense playing correctly there. Brooks crashing on each corner and Turney covering the bag. But now 0-2 will Coach Ragsdale give it to her again.
I was always of the thought if you didn't get the first 2 times, I'm going to make you get it the third time. So that was kind of a
almost a threat in a way, huh?
You don't
it's
want
not
to
going
try
away.
To do it with 2.
It's not going away. So 1-2 count now here on Vasek. And that's off the plate. Going to make the count 2-2.
Nice pitch there. Just misses inside. She tried to challenge on that one.
Tough place to miss right there.
Full count now, no outs. Runner on second here for the Lady Dogs in this half inning. Nice strike 3. Good pitch there, Ava Beatty. She's able to paint that outside corner.
A big strikeout there for Beatty. That'll bring up
And now the bat for the Lady Dogs.
Brenna Lee.
Brenna Lee.
First baseman. And they called strike 0-1. And there's another strike right on the corner. Heading to count 0-2 is Beatty. Oh, 2 here from Ava. And gets her swinging. Coach, she is match for match with Kibido. 5 punch-outs for Beatty.
Something else there for Ava Beatty, really coming in strong, especially when she got a runner on in both innings here early. She's settling in there, finding that pitch that works. And Coach Kayla Treacle, one of the jobs of a head coach over there calling pitches is to know what's working.
And that's going to miss. That'll bring up the left fielder, Madeline LaSalle.
Madeline LaSalle.
As number 9 in the lineup, so with 2 outs, Coach, this is where you would like to close the door. Leave Becker over there to lead off. Don't want her to come up with runners in scoring position. That pitch swung on a miss.
Yeah, definitely you don't want to have this lineup get flipped over. That's exactly the job of a good 8-9, especially a lefty here in the 9 spot.
So 1-1 here from Beatty. And just off the plate, 2-1 to LaSalle. And gets her swing in there, 2-2.
Had a little pop to it there on the glove. Caught there by Bethard. 2s on the board here, Brent, all the way across.
2s are wild. 2-2 delivery. And she misses outside here. And Coach, this is where she just got to challenge LaSalle here with the leadoff Becker on deck.
Yeah, I think you got to go hard and inside right here. There it is.
And there it is, as Ava Beatty is matching Thibodeau in the circle. Each 6 punch-outs a piece, Coach. We hadn't had a defensive out yet.
How about that?
As we're going to head to the top of the third, Lady Dogs lead 1-0. Game. Got a pitcher's duel here early, Coach, as Cammie Chandler going to lead it off, Lady Dogs second baseman.
Yeah, this has been 6 outs each, and they've all been strikeouts. So defense is kind of sitting on their heels a little bit. So let's see if Cammie can wake things up here.
And comes up empty down in the count 0-2. Chandler, another one of the players this year that's bounced around defensively, played several roles, but has kind of found her groove at second base here in the back end of the district schedule.
Yeah, Cammie did a little out time in the outfield. She moved over to second base before district started. And has helped kind of solidify that right side of the field.
Now 1-2 count here to the Lady Dogs second baseman. And able to stay alive, foul that one straight back. On deck, Maya Turney, top of the order. One, two here to Chandler. And putting up a battle is Cammie. Fouls it away. One-two delivery here from Thibodeau. And just off the plate.
Tough take right there. Yeah. Nice job. That's a tough one for anybody to take, but Cammie had it in her head. She was looking for a certain pitch, and that wasn't it.
So now the count even. But Thibodeau bounces right back, gets another punch out. Got to bring up Maya Turney. She led off the game with a single, stolen base. Moved to third on a pass ball and came around and scored on a pass ball. The lone run of the game here so far. Turney, Coach. I mean, I know we got the camera out there, but look what she does to that left side of the defense. Somebody like Maya Turney.
Yeah, Brandon, that's the initial step. So that's not where they end up. That's where they're starting. So as you can see there on your screen on that left side, that defense, that's just a lot of respect. That's really the only way you can put that, Brandon, is that defense has gone in and come in hard there as Maya turning. If she drops one down, they know she's on.
And comes up empty there, 1-1. It's kind of a different situation where you see a team say, we'll give up a double, but we're not going to give up the bunt single.
Yeah, if then they miss on this pitch and it hits that gap, yeah, she's rolling, because this left fielder's playing in as that secondary on that left side.
And that pitch swung through now, down in the count, 1-2.
But, when you do your homework like Coach Ragsdale and Coach Nash have done, they know this is a 522 hitter on the season. Not district play, not the last week, the entire season, 24 games played.
And that pitch just misses. Orangefield faithful wanting that call, but he's been consistent. I'll give him that through 2 1/3. So 2-2 now to Turney. And that's off the plate, going to run it full.
Not a bad pitch there from Thibodeau, as you've got a lefty slapper that's coming through the box quickly. And you're basically ahead in the count, 2-2. Nothing wrong with a little off-speed outside.
And that pitch popped up on the infield. Sanchez calling, and she'll squeeze it. And 2 down, but the first defensive out of the game here in the top of the third by either club.
Yeah, that's wild.
Brooke Key.
That'll bring up center fielder Brooke Key. She walked. Was left at third. Key making that transition, like you said, Coach, to the left-handed batter's box with her speed has paid off tremendously.
Yeah, you wouldn't guess by just looking at her stat line, a 383 batting average right now, but more importantly, 550 on base percentage since the switch over to the left side.
And that's just a stat that, unless you're really involved, most people, the common fan, does not get, but that on-base percentage is so key.
Especially where she is in the lineup right here in this 2 spot. A lot of times the 2 spot's called on to move the lead off, move the 9 or the 1 over, and a lot of times they don't get on, if they're doing their job in certain situations. But in several games during district play, Brooke has not only done her job of advancing the runners, but she's also gotten on herself, as you can tell in that 550 on base percentage.
1-2 pitch, and able to slap that foul. So staying alive is key. On deck, Riley Brooks. And speaking of Brooks, that's my X factor tonight, Ryan Brooks. I think if she can get a hold of one tonight, which she's very capable, has done it right here in this part, as Key fouls that one away, can be a big momentum swing.
It was a huge hit in that Game 1 regional quarterfinal playoff series that just didn't hold, but at the time we thought that was the game winner. She really smashed that one over the brick wall in left field.
1-2 here to Key. And a tapper foul. Going to stay alive. Brooke battling in the box. So 1-2 count here on the Bulldog center fielder. Thibodeau delivers. And Key, look at her, Coach.
Just battling here, getting a bat on the ball. I've been impressed with Brooks' ability, not over to switch to the left side. Now, that's hard in itself, but to be able to soft slap, being able to have that foot placement correctly to get the ball down, it's been big.
And able to take that pitch. 2-2. But right now, she just, in a better lack of words, she's just being a pest to Thibodeau, making her work. 2-2 here to Key. And now works the count full. So started out 0-2, has battled her way to a full count, stayed alive on numerous foul balls. Thibodeau's delivery. And she wins this battle. Gets the punch out. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Lady Dogs lead 1-0.
And we're ready to get things going here in the bottom of the third inning. Orangefield Lady Bobcats send up their top of the order, number 14, the center fielder Becker, who has threatened and all the way to third base in her first at bat. Stranded there by the Lady Dogs. Ava Beatty had a couple of strikeouts to strand Becker and Vincent. But Becker, fantastic leadoff hitter for these Lady Bobcats. She does everything to get on base. And she's showing it there. She's battling now with 2 strikes. 1-0 lead for the Lady Dogs here in this UIL Class 3 bi-district playoff series. Game 1 here from Jasper High School. Game 2 tomorrow, right back here at 6 p.m. And with a Game 3 following 30 minutes after if necessary. One-two count here to the leadoff for the Lady Bobcats. She's going to foul that one off the left side, right over in the warm-up area. Little Cypress Mauriceville warming up for their 4A bi-district game to follow this one against the Hudson Lady Hornets. That one will be broadcast on the Hudson Broadcast Network.
Oh,
and that one's going to be off the bat. Foul ball as that one hit the bat. An immediate call there from the umpire. The count will stay at 1-2. That's a tough one to call, Brent. You don't know if that one hit hands, but what's the old rule? Hands a part of the bat?
Yeah, I think you're looking at hands and you're listening for a sound. You know, if it's got a little ping to it. Becker putting together in a good AB here.
Yeah, it seems like every season that you see an Orangefield Lady Bobcat team, they've got one heck of a leadoff tandem, either in that 9-1-2 position or that 1-2-3 spot. They just keep reloading down there in Orangefield. And they've got it here with Becker.
Well, and Beatty right now making her work. You know, was ahead in the count now 2-2, but she just hadn't grooved one yet.
Two count here for the leadoff Becker. And it's going to be just missed on the outside corner as Beatty tried to bait her into going after one well outside. And we're full here.
Where she's just got to go at her. You know, a walk with Becker could easily be a double. Pitch or 2 into the bat, just make her earn it.
That's a shot there in left field. It's going to drop right in front of Smith, and Becker's going to get a double. Immediately thinking, too, as any good leadoff, especially on that left side, as that one just floated right in front of the left fielder Smith for a leadoff double.
Yeah, tough play for Lily there. Lily, you know, is trying to, it's kind of a do-or-die situation. Do I come in, try to make a dive and catch, or you know, play it safely off a hop, and then when that back spin off a lefty, it kind of kicked a little bit.
It's going to bring up Thibodeau, the pitcher, who was retired in that first at-bat. There's a bunt there that's going to be not caught there by Bethard, just out of reach as Brooks was charging hard.
I think Coach Ragsdale down there in that third base box right here, they've had runners on every inning. She's right here saying, hey, I don't care, I'm in the top on the water. We got to scratch a run across here. So even with one of our better hitters looking to move the runner.
No, I think that's exactly the right plan. Make Central make a play. And there it is again. And another foul ball there for 2 strikes here on Thibodeau. Just trying to move Becker over to third, not able to get the bunt down.
Well, and there's no one more frustrated on the Orangefield side than her. I mean, she's tonight's starting pitcher, wants to help herself out.
As Thibodeau looks at the call sheet there on her wrist and steps in the box here with 2 strikes. Showing bunt, pulls back, swing and a miss for strike 3. One away, and Beatty retires another one here. That's the second there on her counterpart on the other side, Thibodeau.
Yeah, that's going to bring up Charlie Sanchez 0 for 1. But the big 3-spot hitter, she and Becker are the offensive weapons of this club.
Becker looking for possibly another delayed steal, Brandon. She had 2 of those in her first time on the bases in that first inning.
Yeah, you can tell she's very intelligent on the bases. I think Coach Ragsdale gives her some freedom. That check swing going to even the count at 1-1.
A lot of times you got a player like Becker, you've got a player like a Janae Robinson that you just kind of let them play. You know, you try not to leash them because of the speed and their just intelligence, as you mentioned, on the base pass. Let them go.
And that pitch swung on a miss. Make the count 1-2 here on Sanchez.
I can remember several times, Brent, just in the first. Swing and a miss there. Strike 3.
Another
Ava
big
Beatty.
punch out. Ava Beatty. It's going to bring up Allison Vincent. She walked the Bobcats' second baseman. So 2 away, and Beatty is trying to wave her wand, work some magic again.
It's been happening.
At the bat for the Lady Bobcats, number 14, Allie Becker.
You know, early in the first year that we had Janae, you know, she had been called up as a varsity player directly as soon as I had the first practice and saw what kind of player she was. Called in to bat in that 9 hole, and a lot of times she'd look at me or Coach Tobias, and after a while we just said, just play. You know, do your thing. Don't look at us.
And runner's going to go. Throw not in time. So Becker down there at third with 2 down. I think Coach Ragsdale right there trying to just force maybe an error, throw an error. But Bethard able to make the throw on target, but down there just 60 feet away here with 2 down.
Yeah, I know the scoreboard's got 1 out there. You may see that at home, folks, but there are 2 outs here.
And that pitch swung on. So it should be 1-2 count. There we go.
Will be number 3, Allison Vincent.
So Beatty, she left 2 on in the first, left 1 on in the second, trying to repeat her magic here in the third.
Ooh, tough take there.
Man. Not a bad spot for Beatty there. Just misses painting the corner. Going to even the count at 2-2.
That's one of those over on your bucket. You yell at your catcher, "Where'd that miss?" You know, you're not wanting to show up the umpire, but you want to know that I need that call.
And now that's going to come full. 32 on deck catcher, Jacelyn Girardi. With a full count here to Vincent with Becker down there at third. Two away. 1-0 Lady Dogs here in the third.
Vincent walked her last at bat. We know what a disciplined hitter she is.
And able to stay alive, fight 1 off.
Good crowd here in Jasper tonight, Brant, from both sides. Orangefield and Lady Dogs traveling well as always.
And there's a 2-out walk to Vincent. She's aboard. Runners on the corner. Bring up the catcher, Jacelyn Girardi, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Coach here, first and third, 2 down. I mean, more than likely going to put them in motion early. I mean, just conceding the bag here with 2 away, the way Beatty's been throwing in the circle.
Yeah, at the most, you're doing some kind of shortcut play, not even a halfway play, be it the shortstop or the second baseman. You know, generally we prefer the second baseman to come across just because they don't have a turn-type throw to make. But
and that pitch fouled out of play on the right side. The winner of this series will take on Van Vleck or Trinity. Will be the matchup in the next series, or the winner of this one. And this, like I said, a 2 out of 3 series, just in game 1.
I don't think I've ever heard that said before in Lady Dog softball history. Van Vleck or Trinity would be our opponent.
Usually East Bernard or Danbury waiting in the wings.
These playoffs this year have really thrown me for a loop, Brent. The Division I and Division II split in team sports being introduced this year.
So a big pitch here, 0-2 here from Beatty. Off the plate, Vincent going to take second without a throw. But go ahead, run now in scoring position here with 2 down and 2 strikes.
And that's the biggest part of that first and third situation is now you've got second and third. One little Texas leaguer scores 2 because you've got 2 outs here.
And that pitch fouled away. Now Beatty she's working the ball in the outer half. So 1-2, we're going to do it again here. Beatty looking into Bethard. Tapper going to be a tough play. Brooks, and ball was dropped. As Brooks made the right play. Only play to be made at the plate. And the ball just came out of the glove of Bethard, and we are tied at 1 apiece.
That's a tough one right there. That kind of looked like that might have been in the exchange, Brant, but that was such a tough one. It was a bang-bang play. She might have been safe anyway, even if she hadn't dropped that one. But a 1-1 ball game now, 2 outs.
So the first hit of the game second hit of the game for Orangefield. Becker with a double, and now we throw it away. And another run comes across. They throw down to third and get the runner there, but the Lady Dogs give up 2 runs. And now trail 2-1 as we head to the top of the 4th. All right, welcome back. Top of the 4th. Lady Dogs now trail 2-1. Tough break there, Coach, on those 2 last plays. Bobcats able to take advantage and push 2 across.
Yeah, you just don't want a windfall to happen. Luckily, Lady Dogs able to get that 3rd out.
As Riley Brooks at the plate, 0 for 1.
Thibodeau challenging on that first pitch. Going for those first pitch strikes to jump ahead here.
And that pitch upstairs, 1-1. As you get Riley leading off, followed by twin sister Ryan Brooks and then Ava Beatty. So 3, 4, 5 in the order here in the 4th. And And that pitch swung on a miss. Makes it count 1-2 here to Riley. And 1-2 upstairs. Makes it count even at 2 apiece. Cam Ward goes to the Titans with pick 1. I think everybody had that. But the Jaguars make a big trade. Trade up to pick 2. We'll see who they grab. As Brooks fouls one off.
So if you're a GM for a day over in Jacksonville, Brent, who are you going with?
Man, I think it's got to be Travis Hunter. He's like the unicorn of the draft.
Yeah.
Can play both sides. He's the Ohtani of football.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's who they went and got. We'll see. 2-2 pitch. And swung on a miss. 9 punch-outs in the game for Kibido. That'll bring up Ryan Brooks.
Ryan struck out her first at bat when the
Ryan Brooks.
Lady Dogs had 2 runners on. See if she can make some adjustments here. As you mentioned, Brent, 9 strikeouts.
And that pitch swung on a miss. Update, I know the weather back home's pretty rough. Huntington gets rained out at home. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. And Game 3 needed is Saturday, but no action tonight for the district champ.
Wow.
As Brooks comes up empty.
You hate that. You know, not only now you've got a doubleheader for your first-round series, but you're just so amped up, ready to go, ready to play. You've been thinking about it all day, talking to your friends in class and in the lunchroom, and now it's nothing. You're just going to go back to the house, and I hate that for the kids. But Mother Nature, she's going to do her thing, and we just got to roll with it.
All the time.
Not all the time, especially playoff season.
This time of the year, yeah.
I was trying to think, Brand, if Jasper High School or Madisonville was the first to have turf, but I remember just the flood of people trying to get into these turf locations because of just weather at this point of the year.
Well, and 4 or 5 years ago, Bulldog Baseball made that regional final run, and we're hunting a location. Had to go all the way to Glen Rose.
Oh, that was wild.
And
yeah.
it was so far away, and it was cold, but it was turf and it was dry. As Brooks goes down swinging. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Ava Beatty, 0 for 1 on the the story has been pitching. Kibido with 10 strikeouts through 3 2/3. Only 1 defensive out. But on the other side, Beatty's been right there. Beatty with 8 in the game.
Man, this is something else, Brand. We knew that both of these squads were relying on their pitching. Lady Dogs relying on Ava Beatty all season long, Brand. Let me throw this stat at you. 149 innings played, 126 of those pitched by Ava Beatty.
Beatty, can't blame her, tries to bunt her way on, pops it up. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th. Lady Dogs trail 2-1. All right, welcome back here. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 game. Bobcats in the lead. Leading it off here is going to be Paisley Reeves. She was at bat on the throwing arrow when they scored the last run and ended the inning with the runner thrown out at third, so she'll resume another AV. And first pitch gets hit. Leadoff runner has been aboard every inning, Coach.
That's always tough. Eventually it's going to come back to bite you in the rear. You just hope that it doesn't happen, here late in the innings as we're getting on in this game. Bottom of the fourth now. Lady Dogs desperately needing to put a 0 on the board.
Basic, a little bunt, gets it down. Nobody over at third, but Brooks able to recover. They'll get the play at first. That'll bring up Brenna Lee, the first baseman. 0 for 1.
And now up the bat for Lady Bobcats, number 7, Renee Lee.
Coach Ragsdale just trying to make something happen here, manufacturing some base movement here with a bunt.
And that pitch going to catch the corner. On deck, LaSalle. So 8-9 in the order right here. And that pitch fouled away, now down in the count 0-2. Delivery. And just misses. Going to be 1-2. And downstairs 2-2. So Jaguars trade up to pick 2 with Cleveland. They get Travis Hunter. Giants have just selected Abdul Carter. Cleveland fans, I think they're going to, they're going, what's going on? Us again.
Poor Cleveland
that pitch
fans.
fouled away. So I believe the Patriots are on the clock. So 2-2 count here to Lee. Down there at second is Reeves with that leadoff hit by pitch. And that's going to miss downstairs.
Beatty trying to paint that inside corner. Just misses there to run the count full. Foul ball there is Lee battling here. Still full count. Runner at second base there is Lee is battling here with Beatty.
3-2 now here. And gets her swinging. Big strikeout for Beatty. That'll bring up second baseman Madeline LaSalle. LaSalle.
Let's see. If we're down in Southeast Texas, it's probably LaSalle.
So 2-away. 0 for 1 is LaSalle. And comes up empty on that one.
Now, if she came up Highway 69 to East Texas, it'd be LaSalle.
Yeah.
Down here in the Jasper area, we'll go with LaSalle.
And Bethard getting a little equipment upgrade there. Umpire helping her out. Should be back to action now. And that pitch fouled away. 0-2.
Here in that same situation, Brant, that we were in just 2 innings ago in that second. 2 outs in the 9 spot up. Lady Dogs not wanting to not only have another base run, but have that top of the order coming up here with 2 on. Beatty misses there with that outside pitch.
And Vincent, the lone senior in the lineup for the Bobcats. So they'll be ready for another run next year. And that pitch fouled out of play on the left side. But this year, coming in 30 wins on the season. They won District 22 3A, ranked inside the top 10 at number 9 in the state. So Lady Dogs, we knew it was going to be a tough task, but right here, 2-1 game. Beatty has done the job in the circle, and she continues with another punch out. And we're going to head to the top of the 5th with a 2-1 game here at Orangefield in front. All right, welcome back. Top of the 5th. Skylar Bethard going to get it started. 6, 7, 8 in the order for the Lady Dogs. And that pitch upstairs. Now, the story on the night has been pitching. Thibodeau with 10 strikeouts. And on the other side, Ava Beatty with 10.
How about that, man? Just a pitching duel here as both pitchers just trying to tell their team, hey, I'm doing my job. Give me some runs here. Orangefield able to scratch out a couple in that third inning.
And off the plate, 2-1. Well, the thing is, in a game like this, you get double-digit strikeouts from both sides, so just 4 innings. And a ball hadn't been hit hard yet. You know, get a bloop double from Becker, a single, swing and bunt single. And Lady Dogs with the one hit, a bunt single. So 2-2 now to Bethard. And swung on and missed. He's going to bring up now Bailey LaBelle.
And now the bat for your Lady Dogs, number 13, Bailey LaBelle.
And LaBelle comes up empty down in the count 0-1.
Just want to give our viewers a heads up that we may go to audio only here shortly, as we've got some video problems that have popped up here. So if we do, we'll keep the action, maybe get a little more descriptive for it if we have to go to audio only, but we will keep the broadcast going. We'll try and get this camera angle fixed here shortly.
0-2 here to LaBelle. Upstairs, 1-2. So 1-2 here from Thibodeau. And downstairs 2-2 to LaBelle. On deck, Lily Smith. And gets her swinging. Give her 12 strikeouts in the game.
So total strikeouts, Brent, we've got 12 on the Orangefield side. And Ava Beatty.
10 on the Lady Dog side.
Okay, so 12 and 10, that's 22. And the number I'm looking at is 9. They're both 9th graders.
Yeah.
So you have a 9th grader on each squad that is really just keeping her team in this ball game. A close one here from Jasper, 2-1 right now.
Yeah, tough news for 21-3A and 22-3A. Yeah, Smith in the box, 0 for 1. And down in the count now, 0-2. So Smith down in the count, 0-2. Thibodeau trying to strike out the side, and she does. As we'll head to the bottom of the 5th with Orangefield leading 2-1. Going to be Hallie Becker here. Getting it started leadoff. She's been aboard twice, single and a double, and has scored a run here for the Bobcats. Want to keep her off the base pass. As we are audio only right now, as we're battling through some camera issues, but we will stay live here with audio only. We'll try to give you the best description we can. It's 2-0 here from Beatty. And that ball hit down the line, but it'll get foul, 2-1. So pitcher's duel here tonight. Thibodeau, 13 punch-outs through 5. Ava Beatty for the Lady Dogs with 10 punch-outs through 4.
Update from 21-3A Central Heights and Buna, Brand. It has been delayed and called. So game 1 will resume tomorrow, and they will try and get in game 2, and if needed, game 3. Kinsey Templeton, familiar name. Those that watch Lady Dog and Lady Devil basketball in the fall, with a big home run there for those Blue Devils to give them a 4-0 lead. But Mother Nature once again making her presence known in this first round of the playoffs.
We're glad we came south, at least tonight. And there's a called strike, going to make the count full. On deck is Thibodeau. And a leadoff walk.
Great pitch there from Beatty, but just disciplined.
We're in the 5th, and leadoff has been aboard every inning. Beatty has had
Now
traffic
at the bat for your
and
Orangefield
pressure
Lady
every inning.
Bobcats will be
Yeah, that's
number
exactly
10,
right, Brent. The
Teal.
pressure put on by these Lady Bobcats. And Beatty has done a good job of bending but not breaking. Let's see if she can maintain that here with no outs and a runner on.
Yes, Thibodeau in the box. They're going to let her swing away the first pitch. And her last AB, Coach Ragsdale had her try to sacrifice. Maybe let her get one pitch to swing at, maybe move her now. We'll see what the strategy is from Coach Ragsdale. And she's squaring early, but pulls back and fouls it back down in the count 0-2.
Timing mechanism there. She's showing bunt early, pulling back as soon as the pitcher Beatty gets in motion. But fouling that one back there. 2 strikes now. Becker, the big speed threat. These Lady Bobcats standing over at first.
0-2 delivery. And able to stay alive. Oh, 2 pitch here from Beatty. And downstairs, they'll throw back. Becker back in time down there. Patriots select Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU, and the Browns selected Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan. That ball hit well into center. Key comes in. Now Chandler goes out, makes the play, throw to first. In time. What a defensive play from Cammie Chandler. Went into shallow center, made a running catch, and spun and fired a rocket to first to double Becker.
Great play by the freshman Chandler. Good jump on that ball as she saw that one floating out into the outfield. I saw Brooke Key coming. I saw Maya Turney, and then out of nowhere, here comes Cammie Chandler. And the best part of that, Brand, is she knew there's another play to be made. So great job, Cammie Chandler, moving on to the next play. Double play for these Lady Dogs. Big one.
So now 2 away, nobody on. So we'll see if maybe a defensive play will spark the Lady Dogs. As offensively, it's been a tough night. But they are right there battling down 1. And there's a called strike. 1-1 here to Sanchez. She's 0 for 2. As Becker and Sanchez are the key offensively for this club. Becker's been aboard all 3 times, but Sanchez has been held hitless so far.
Yeah, but if you looked at the schedule this entire year, you won't find very many 0 for 3 nights for Sanchez. This would be a huge out for Ava Beta and these Lady Dogs.
Well, and it's one thing, Coach, I know you've seen this, is it'd be one thing if they're making hard outs. You know, they're hitting the ball just right at us, but Beatty is able to get the big strikeouts.
Yeah, great point, Brandis. She has stepped in here to retire the side in some of these innings, to get out of some trouble, to keep this game close at 2-1.
So down in the count, 3-1 now. Beatty delivers. Gets her swinging, going to make the count full here to Charlie Sanchez. That ball hit into shallow center. Chandler goes back and makes another running catch. Cammie Chandler.
Have a night, Cammie Chandler.
Getting it done defensively. We're going to head to the top of the 6. Let's see if the Lady Dogs can get the bats going. They trail 2-1. All right, welcome back. And, man, how many times, Coach, you seen somebody make a good defensive play?
50 at least.
And then they lead off the inning.
It just always happens. I love this game so much.
Kimmy Chandler going to try to light a spark. And tries to bunt. Comes up empty.
You know, that's something right there just as a hitter, as your, approach is, all right, we're going to try and lay some bunts down and do some things. Take the ball. You know, if she's going to give you one, you don't have to try and bunt everything.
And comes up empty now, down 0-2. Top of the order on deck. So, Lady Dogs, if they're going to make a threat, it's probably going to be here in the 6th. Chandler down on the count 0-2. Thibodeau delivers. And Chandler battles, fouls one off. Oh-2 here from Thibodeau. And gets her swinging. They'll throw down to first and make the play. And one away, that'll bring up Maya Turney. Got the only hit in the game for the Lady Dogs. It came back to lead off the game, a bunt single. She came around and scored on stolen base and a pass ball.
That feels like a million years ago.
Man, it does. This game has flown by. Our listeners out there, if you joined us at the beginning, we didn't start until almost 6:30, 6:40, and we are an hour 10 into this one and almost through. Credit the pitchers on both sides. Ava Beatty for the Lady Dogs and Thibodeau on the other side for the Bobcats.
Lady Dogs desperately needing to get something going here against Thibodeau as Turney's able to draw another ball there. 2 balls now. Is the top of the order for the Lady Dogs coming to the bat, and we've got Turney Key and then the R&R sisters. So it's now or never for these Lady Dogs.
And there's a called strike, going to make it now 2-1. Turney right now knows a walk is just as important as a line drive single. Just get aboard. Two-1 from Thibodeau. And swung on a miss, evens the count at 2-2.
Turney needs to step back, reset here, 2 strikes. There you go, Maya's going to step out and just take another breather. Steps in the box here, 2-2 count.
Turney with the bunt, but coming in crashing. It's Reeves able to make the play. That'll bring up Brooke Key.
Brooke Key now 2 outs. And the pitcher's going to be up and out for a ball. The Dogs trying to get a 2-out rally started here in their half of the 6th inning. And that was going to miss there for a 2-ball call right here. Brooke Key is trying to get on base here for the Brooks twins to have a chance to get their first RBI of the night. And it's going to be down the middle for a strike called to Brooke Key. Key, the junior center fielder for the Lady Dogs, switching over to the left side this season. And that'll be a called strike 2. 2-2 count here and 2 outs. And the pitch here, Key's going to foul that one off as she battles here with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And here's the pitch. He's going to foul that one right there next to Coach Treacle.
Key had a similar AB or last at bat. Struck out, but battled for about a 10-pitch AB. Here we're 2 down, just trying to find a way on.
Thibodeau steps to the circle, and the pitch there is going to hit Key right off the elbow. Let's see if they award her first, and they do. So Key has done her job the hard way, Brent. Getting on base, though.
And Coach Ragsdale wants to at least get an appeal here. As with a 2-1 game,
Yeah.
base runners sparse.
One of
Putting
those situations
Yeah.
where it doesn't hurt to have them talk about it. There may be a field umpire that had a different angle, but for the most part, that was just going to be a hit. And they will call a foul ball strike.
Wow.
Wow, so they do reverse that one. And we will go back to a full count.
Gets her swinging. And that's going to end the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Lady Dogs trail 2-1. All right, welcome back here. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 game. Leading off going to be second baseman Allison Vincent. Got to wait for the umpires to get ready back in their area. And that pitch fouled away.
Back to some video here, Brent, here on Bulldog Broadcast.
All right. Lady Dogs right now, if Beatty can just keep them right here at this, they got 3, 4, 5 in the order. Give yourself a chance. And that pitch off the plate, 1-1. Ashton Genty goes to the Raiders as they get their big running back. That pitch off the plate, 2-1.
We mentioned Brant, a couple of freshmen on the mound or in the circle here in this ball game, and just lessons learned throughout the season just going to help them get better as they go about their high school career. And one of those areas was the pitch there is going to hit that outside corner. One of those is 2-strike approach, as Coach Treacle has been working with Ava on not always grouping one down the middle when you're ahead, 1-2, or even just 2 strikes. So big part here is to have that clean inning, not to have that little bit of a hiccup inning, and Ava's done a great job so far tonight of not only 2-strike pitching, but also not allowing Orangefield to have that big inning.
Ground ball to second. Chandler going to catch, flip, and one away. And, Coach, we waited all the way to the bottom of the 6th to get the leadoff runner out.
How about that?
Just, you know, you go 5 innings letting the leadoff runner get on. I mean, just you're making pressure pitches all game long, and Beatty has done it. I mean, it's kind of like a duck above water. You know, she looks calm as can be. I don't know what the heart rate is, but
I can imagine what Mama's heart rate is.
Yeah.
One thing you always look for in the stands is where's the pitcher's mama. You can usually tell by the one rocking back and forth, or maybe even pacing up and down the steps. But That's a pressure situation as we feel some raindrops falling here in Jasper.
And Jocelyn Girardi, the catcher, up. And now they're going to uphill, and palms down, 1-1. The Jets get their big offensive tackle, the Mammoth, Missouri lineman. He is a big fella.
I like that pick for the Raiders, Janty.
Yeah.
That's big for him.
And a little ground ball. Beatty going to field flip in time. Nice play from Ava. That'll bring up Paisley Reeves.
With all the athleticism that you see there from a pitcher able to field their position. You know, a lot of times you look for those PFPs, you know, the ones that are coming right back, or maybe a step to the right or the left. Ava had to take off for that one, right?
Mm-hmm. And that pitch swung on and missed.
She reared back on that one. That might have been her hardest pitch of the night. You could hear that one back in Pollock. Popped the
little
mitt there,
pop.
Beathard, it did.
And gets her swinging on a changeup way out in front.
Little high-low action there from Beatty. Not eye level change, but speed change.
And a punch out, 1-2-3 inning. Ava Beatty with 11 strikeouts through 6. We're going to head top of the 7th, Coach, and if we're going to do it, it's got to happen right here.
Now
we'll be
never.
back with Lady Dog Softball. All right, welcome back here. 2-1 game, Lady Dogs, but they got it left here in the last inning. And this game 1 of a 3-game series. Riley Brooks going to lead it off.
Well, last inning here. You know, don't you usually put in your closer? I mean, Kipido, right? She should have somebody coming in for her.
And Brooks going to foul that one away.
And that's what every Lady Dog fan here and would love to see, but Coach Ragsdale says, no way, Kipido, it's your ball. Especially with all the Ks that you've written down tonight, Brant. How many do we have?
She got 15, so. Pop up, a mile-high third baseman going to come in, call, and she'll squeeze it. And one away, that'll bring up Ryan Brooks. If the Lady Dogs could put one person at the plate that's capable of getting into one,
And now the bat for
here she
Lady
is.
Dogs, number 12, Ryan
Exactly right,
Brooks.
Brant. She's had some monster shots this season. 3 home runs on the year for Ryan Brooks. Big one in the Nacogdoches tournament.
And that ball shot down the line, long run. Right fielder comes over.
Oh, hit the fence
Oh.
hard on that one.
Doesn't make the play. They're going to check on her to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, they've got teammates running out there. And she is laid out on the field.
Vasek. Can't question the effort.
Yeah, Kinley Vasek, the sophomore from Orangefield, went 100 miles an hour trying to make that out. just glanced off her glove, but the biggest thing is her face made contact there with the fence. Let's hope it wasn't a bad cut, but they're tending to her right now.
We're going to take a moment and step away. We'll be right back here with Lady Dog Softball. All right, welcome back. As Vasic looks to be okay, and maybe a little cut on the nose they looked at, but tough kid out there. And kind of shows you what kind of player she is. Does not want to come out of the game.
Yeah, that's a program right there where you're going to go that speed, get injured, and not want to come out. It's something that's just ingrained in these Orangefield Lady Bobcats. A lot of respect for this program and what they've built down there in Orangefield. Basic, as you mentioned, Brent, tough kid. She went as hard as you can go for a ball there, and that Brooks hit.
So Ryan going to get another crack at it, 0-1. Like we said, she is the one Lady Dog that can, with one swing of the bat, change things quickly.
Just sit back here and try and make that same hard contact line drop shot.
And that ball skied on the right side. Going to be a tough play. Second baseman comes over and makes the play.
I'll admit I had my doubts on that one. That one had
a
lot of spin on it.
Number 9, Ava Beatty.
Yeah, it's Vincent able to make the play. That's going to bring up Ava Beatty here with 2 down. Trying to keep things going is Ava. Lady Dogs will be back in action tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We'll have the coverage for you. But a heck of a ball game here, down to the last out here in game 1. As Beatty and Thibodeau, the stories in the circle. Beatty, 11 strikeouts through 6 innings. Thibodeau with 15 so far.
Wow. And the umpires are closing their eyes because we're seeing some lightning there in the background.
Yeah.
We're 7th inning here. Don't want any delays.
1-0 here to Beatty. Comes up empty, 1-1. On deck is Skylar Bethard.
Beatty trying to help herself out to keep this game rolling.
And swung on a miss down to their last strike here in game 1. Thibodeau trying to get to number 16 on the night. And that'll do it. Thibodeau strong in the circle, the story of the night. Orangefield doesn't do it a lot offensively, but they do enough. Push across 2 runs. They get the victory 2-1, Coach.
Man, this was a pitcher's duel like we haven't seen in some time, but Lady Dogs battled the whole way. just those 2 runs scored off of an errant play by the Lady Dogs allow the Lady Bobcats to take a 1-0 lead in this bi-district series.
Well, we're going to jump off. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll have the coverage tomorrow at 6 p.m. for Game 2.